Good morning and welcome to the breakfast news this morning. I am David Obokwasile. The headlines. More indigent women in Anambra State benefit from the empowerment program of Chief Mrs. Ebele Obiano. Wife of a former president, Mrs. Obasanjo, stresses the importance of prayers for God's intervention in the affairs of the country. Federal government advised to check activities of producers of fake fertilizers. On the foreign scene, North Korea warns of natural disaster amid heat wave. Now the details of the news. More indigent women have benefited from the empowerment initiative of the wife of the state governor, Chief Mrs. Ebele Obiano. This was the climax of the 2018 Mother Summit held at the Alex Ekweme Square, Oka, which also attracted the wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Osibanjo, Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Senator Aisha Al-Hassan, and some governors' wives. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe was there and reports that the benefiting women received food processing equipment ranging from garri graters, garri mashers, oil digesters, and oil mashers, amongst others. His report.
On the occasion, the special guest and wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Osibanjo, who kicked off her remark with a musical glamour, applauded Mrs. Obiano's value-driven initiative and admonished women not to lose consciousness of their important roles in both family and the society as they pursue political breakthrough.
Reminding us, because our daughters and our sons, they are the most precious thing to us in this life. I'm reminding us because we have to take care of these ones. I'm reminding us because politics is who have you given the lives of your children to.
In her contribution, the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Senator Aisha Al-Hassan, called for mutual support and self-belief among women in the race for women emergence in the vanguard of national affairs.
Look at the homes, Your Excellency. God gave leadership of our homes because physiologically, physically, they are stronger than women. But in maturity, in intellect, in every other thing, women are better than men, with due respect to the men that are here.
A guest speaker and the training coordinator, the Management House Africa, Dr. Emmanuel Ebotu, who spoke on the theme of the event, sustaining women participation in politics, prospects and challenges, said total freedom cannot be achieved if women are still relegated in the background of social and political society.
Take this on board that the objective of restructuring and development program will not have been realized unless we see in invisible practical terms that the condition of women in our country has changed radically to intervene in all aspects of life equal with any other member of the society.
Presenting the equipment, Mrs. Obiano charged women to tap positively from the vibes of failure and to see one another as partners in the quest for individual and collective ambitions.
We're going to ensure that we cooperate as women to be able to meet this theme of to live up to the theme of this outing.
Earlier in a goodwill message, the Commissioner for Social Welfare, Women and Children Affairs, Lady Ndidi Mezuo, spoke on the growing recognition of untapped capacity and talents of women and the prospects of women's leadership, noting that the presence of Governor Willie Obiano at the helm of affairs in the state has made the 40% affirmative action feasible. Presentation of trophy to women from Dunukofa Council area that emerged victorious from the march past and cultural dance competitions formed part of the high point of the summit. From the Alex Ekweme Square, Oka, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
Women have been charged to get involved in governance, especially now that the country is in dire need of political emancipation. This formed the cruise of the speeches delivered by women in politics during the 2018 Anambra Mother Summit held at the Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Oka. Our correspondent Ngozi Obileri was at the event and now reports.
In a speech, wife of a former president of Nigeria, Mrs. Bola Obasanjo, urged women to always support their husbands, families and the country at large through fervent prayers and to always show interest in political matters. Mrs. Obasanjo regretted that women's participation in politics is impeded by sociocultural activities that most often prevent them from getting involved in certain situations.
We need to make ourselves happy, we women, because nobody can do this for us. Words of encouragement. How do you do that? Never bring back any bad memory. Never look gloomy. Put on that radiant smile, which will captivate all other people around you. Don't forget your smile. Make someone else happy. Your home must be welcoming at all times. We should be a mother who possesses big heart of gold.
Speaking also, wife of the Enugu State Governor, Lady Ugochi Ugwanyi, encouraged women to come out and vie for elective positions, advising them to support each other to soar higher.
It's for us to support one another. The women, let us stop the pull-down syndrome. Let us come out en masse to support women. We can only achieve this. We can only sustain women participation in politics by coming out en masse and supporting our fellow women. And you, that you are coming out for us to support you, you have to tolerate your fellow woman.
On her part, wife of Delta State Governor, Lady Edith Okowa, said women who are endowed with the gift to nurture children should venture into politics to deploy their expertise as multi-talented individuals so as to take politics in the country to the next level.
You give a woman a naira, she's able to make it into thousands. We have said so much on the challenges of how we can sustain women, but one thing stands sure, that if every woman, if you go to the polling booth on the day of voting, women are usually more. I don't know about your state, but in my own state, women are always more in the polling booth. But tell me, why is it that women, when they want to contest any election, are not able to win? The reason is you and I. Let us learn to love. God himself is love. Love your fellow women.
Other women who spoke to ABS at the event were the first female governor in the country, Dame Veje Tiaba, member representing Oyi local government area in the State House of Assembly, Mrs. Vivian Okadibo, and his Orumba South counterpart, Princess Niku Gochukwu, who commended Anambra State government for being among the states in the country supporting more than 40% affirmation, calling on women to take their positions in the nation's polity. The Assistant National President, Ohaneze Women Leader, Chief Mrs. Ezenwanye Anikwe, applauded wife of Anambra State Governor, Chief Mrs. Ebele for sustaining the state slogan by being the light of the nation, as according to her, Anambra has always taken a lead on issues bordering on the growth of women, widows, and the less privileged. Earlier in an opening speech, the Anambra State Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice, Dr. Ujunwogu, went down memory lane listing women who have excelled in politics, including the late Professor Dora Akunyilo and late Mrs. Fumilayo Kuti, charging women to stop hiding their talents, but to put them into good use for the good of the society. The event was attended by traditional rulers, women groups and organizations, government officials, as well as members of the Anambra State House of Assembly. From the Dr. Alex Ekweme Square in Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
And now moving to other stories, the Sector Commander of Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, Mr. Sonda Jaya, has advocated the culture of safety consciousness among the motoring public to minimize the rate of carnages on the roads. Mr. Jaya made the call at a training program held for safety managers in Onitsha. Staff reporter Odinaka Nwolisa has reports.
Addressing participants while declaring the program open, Mr. Ajayi observed that the vision of the Commission is to, among others, ensure safer road environment and create standards for optimal performances. He said the standardization scheme was initiated to address critical issues and curtail excesses among drivers and other road users. The sector commander mentioned that we leverage on policies and framework guiding their operations as well as strategize on reaching out compliance among the public. He reminded the safety managers of the need to pursue with vigor issues relating to safety measures, installation of speed limiter device, cautioning against recklessness, one-way drive, rather be part of the change agent in the system.
We are looking forward to get standards, to equally create policy papers, the company policy that we guide.
In a lecture, the Assistant Corps Commander, Nature Unit, Mr. Paulinus Akpotobo, While highlighting basic vehicle maintenance tips for safety and efficient operations, stressed the need for proactive measures and attitudinal change among the drivers, pointing out that 14% of fatality rate will not be achieved without focus.
It is only where the first person who passed, who saw that vehicle there, and is able to call an emergency number.
In an address of welcome, the Sector Transport Standardization Officer, Route Commander Emmanuel Ohia, explained that the annual sensitization program was in response to impact knowledge and mitigate against losses due to carnages, appreciating the participants. In a remark, the host and director of Meteorological Training Institute, Mr. Bode Fakode, who underscored the relevance of training and retraining, observed the need for diligence and adherence among road users. He said the program has been a major player in curtailing casualties, encouraging the society not to run foul of the law.
The operations and, of course, the vision of the corps. But everything road safety stands for is for the good, the benefit, and the safety of Nigerians.
Some participants, including Mrs. Vincent Okwuma, Vincent Zabu, as well as Angus Peter Orekwe, appreciated that the reorientation has reawakened their consciousness and equipped their knowledge towards reduction of accident rate and profit making. Present were key officers of the commission. Meteorological Training Institute, Odinaka Wolisa, ABS News.
The ICT training program organized for over 100 youths from parts of the state by Anambra Irish Professionals Association has ended in Nnewi with presentation of certificates, prizes, gift items and raffle draw. Correspondent Chidema Ikanyon was there and has the details.
ICT training started with preview of work done the previous day. During the ICT training, participants were taught web designing, coding, creation of marquee page, adding content to web page, converting web page to website, factors to consider before starting a blog, amongst other interesting topics. The chairman, Hyper Island, Sapor Ozo, acknowledged the efforts of the state government in helping the youth via government partnership in order to facilitate the empowerment process.
And they are teaching them how to design websites, of which they can earn a living for that, because a lot of companies, if they want to develop more, when they listen to what the facilitator is telling them.
The Vice President, Hyper Island, Mrs. Mary Ann Okoye, reviewed that they will also empower the best 3 participants by helping them further in computer coding and web design.
It's meant to instigate them, to motivate them, to bring out if they really want to go through computer lessons.
Earlier, the facilitators of the training, Messrs. Obasichi Bueze and Arowa Goodluck, who spoke on website creation and how to start a blog, advised participants to always be original and have meaningful content, as that will help boost their website and fetch them money. Winners of the raffle draw, including Somadino Okumo from Ozubru, Esimoye Stanislaus from Akweze, and Ugochukwu Adikibe from Nnewi, expressed gratitude to the association, praying God to bless and enrich them the more.
I feel like so happy today. Even the day I was coming, I didn't know that I was expecting to get something, but I'm very happy to go with something today. Yeah. Both my knowledge and my present.
One that did not partake in this is actually missing a lot. In fact, the person missed a lot. So I would advise that whenever something like this comes up, please, our youth should just turn up. It's not just about the games, but the things that are going to learn. Is
happy. I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling fulfilled, kind of. But in general, I'm feeling good. God bless them first. And I'm saying that they should keep up the good work. They should keep up the good work. See if they can take it to other states and other people could benefit from it.
Highlights were presentation of gift items such as iPad, headphones, books, laptops, and award of scholarship to some deserving participants. From Nnewi, I am Chidemi Kanyon for ABS News.
Governor Willie Obiano recently at the Governor's Lodge, Amobi, organized a dinner party for the visiting Catholic Bishop of Louis Diocese, Austria, Most Reverend Dr. Manfred Schua and his entourage. We have our correspondence report.
Governor Obiano expressed delight at the visit, noting that he had so much love for the people of Austria and that he regularly visits the country. The governor, who personally served his guests different dishes, narrated his experience in one of his visits to Austria, describing it as memorable and remarkable. The Anambra #1 citizen intimated Bishop Scrua about his administration giant strides in the area of security, infrastructure, health, education, youth and women empowerment, among others. Speaking, the Catholic Bishop of Louis Diocese, Most Reverend Dr. Manfred Skura, thanked the governor for the gesture, noting that the relationship between Austria Catholic community and Awka Diocese dated back to 1975, saying that they always look forward to visiting Nigeria, especially Awka Diocese. Dr. Skura expressed satisfaction with the security apparatus put in place by the governor, noting that calm nature of the state had made their stay in Awka a memorable one. He said that the gesture by governor clearly showed that the government-church relationship was cordial. The Catholic prelate blessed the governor and urged him to maintain the temple. For his part, the Catholic Bishop of Awka Diocese, His Lordship Most Reverend Paulinus Ezokafo, thanked the governor for agreeing to host his guest, saying that he was highly impressed with the quick response of the governor when he hinted him about his guests. Bishop Ezokafo, who was accompanied to the lodge by his secretary, Reverend Father Dr. Michael Monwe, and Diocesan PRO, Reverend Father Patrick Okafo, assured the governor of the church's continued support and prayers.
Worried by fake fertilizers in circulation, the Fertilizer Producers and Suppliers Association of Nigeria, FEPSAN, has called on the federal government to intervene without further delay. The Executive Secretary of FEPS, Mr. Ahmed Rabiukwa, told newsmen in Lagos that the adulterated fertilizers was causing low yield of farm crops. According to Mr. Kwa, the fake fertilizer is smooth in texture, dusty and mixed with sand, while the original contains particles like rice, maize and other ingredients which are visible. He said the association had observed that fake fertilizers has resulted in low yield. He advised that government should urgently nip the development plan to produce 1 million metric tons of fertilizers this year. Mr. Kwa noted that in 2017, after the launch of the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative PFI, about 5,000 metric tons of NPK fertilizer was produced. He regretted that producers of fake fertilizers are now everywhere trying to retard the efforts of the government and that of the association, which can retard the success made so far in the sector. And now we move to the foreign scene. The Korean Peninsula is experiencing record temperatures and South Korea has reported 28 deaths from the heat. In the north, which has previously suffered bouts of famine, state media warned that key crops such as rice and corn were under threat and called on citizens to join the struggle to safeguard harvests. The report further said irrigation equipment was being urgently repaired and new wells and reservoirs created, while myriads of water carriers, tractors, trucks and other vehicles have been involved in irrigating croplands together with all the available watering equipment and devices. Remember that you can listen to news and programs on ABS 88.5 FM from any part of the world by logging on to our website www.absradiotv.com. Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABSRadioTV. Follow us on Twitter at ABSRadioTV. Now the main point again. More indigent women in Anambra State benefit from the empowerment program of Chief Mrs. Obiano. Wife of a former president, Mrs. Obasanjo, stresses the importance of prayers for God's intervention in the affairs of the country. She was speaking at the 2018 Mothers Summit held in Awka. Federal government advised to check activities of producers of fake fertilizers. On the foreign scene, North Korea warns of natural disaster amid heat wave. Reports say 28 deaths have been recorded from the heat. And that is the news. I am David Obokwasile. The weekend show continues after now.